Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Goldfinger Minute, and I'm Goldfinger. I have a subject to talk to you about today, which really doesn't much affect you, but it will affect, in the long run, all of the Philippine vloggers here. That has come up and it's been circulating. You may have heard about Vitaly, a Russian vlogger from the States that caused quite a disruption here in the Philippines. And unfortunately, because of that, new rules and laws are becoming into effect. Typically, the rules and laws were passed in 2012, but now they're going to enforce them more. Typically, what happens in the Philippines is they're very slow. They're very slow to reacting and putting things into place. But then when something like that happens, like what Vitaly did, and I don't know if you know what he was doing, but he was doing pranks on Filipinos, which you don't do here. You don't prank a Filipino or Filipino. But he was pulling pranks off and basically making fun of Filipino people and doing things that you probably would get away with in the USA, maybe disturbing the peace might come into effect. But here, they don't go with jokes or pranks like that. You know, he messed with a security officer, he messed with the public, and they don't go for that here. So he pulled the things that he was doing in the U.S. He put it here. He's now in prison. And he may be there for a long time because the USA doesn't want him back, and nor does Russia. He's Russian descent, and Russia doesn't want him back. But because of his actions, which happened a couple months back here in the Philippines, we have some new problems for vloggers. What was on the books in 2012, not 100% enforced, are now coming back to light. And what typically happens here is they overreact. The Philippines typically overreacts. They're going to make they're going to make him. He's going to stand out because they're going to make I forgot the word. An example of him. Okay, and they're going to make an example of the laws too. They do the same thing. They overreact. So the new laws that they're proposing, which take effect. This was on June 10th proposed and effective August 10th of this year, 2026, is that no vlogger who uses the YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, or any of the social medias to put out videos on with sound can record in general, other people in their video, whether they're walking by or talking, cannot record without their consent, which obviously is going to be extremely difficult for a lot of the vloggers that say walk boulevards or walk into the province or walk to places to show you how the Philippines is living or what life is here. And you can't do it. You can't go to malls. You can't go to stores, as well as you have to have the permission of the store owners. If you're in a coffee shop or restaurant or mall, you have to get the permission of the private enterprise first, and then as well as get all of the people that you have in your video to sign a release or blur them out, their faces out, and blur out or block out the voices because they feel it's a personal conversation that you're recording. Even if someone's just talking to you or whatever, you can't have that. This creates a big problem for all of us vloggers. Not me so much because I have a studio and I don't do outside vlogging. I don't go to the malls or the coffee shops. I do interview people, and I plan on interviewing people, but I'll have a release for them to sign that they'll need to recognize the fact that I am recording their voice and their video and their picture, and I'll be putting it on social medias. And so they're going to have to sign a release, which I created with, thank goodness, ChatGPT, which does a lot of the work for me. Created a short half-page release for my guests. But that's not going to work for a lot of vloggers that just walk around and videotape things, whether it be a museum or fishing boats or anything. They're saying now at this point, now it has not become law yet, but they're saying at this point you can't even videotape someone across the water fishing, even if you could barely make out their face. If they're a citizen of the Philippines and they're in your picture, you have to obscure their face and or voices, and or get releases. And obviously that's impossible in a mall or a public place where there's a wedding or a big party of some event. You'd have to get every person to sign off, which of course is going to ruin videos and causes a lot of editing too for a lot of the vloggers. So it's a big concern. Some of it has gone to effect in some ways already, not all of it. Some of it doesn't become law until August 10th. There is some pushback to try and change it, and hopefully they will soon, not make it so stringent, because it's not freedom of speech or freedom of, it takes away freedoms is what it is. But the way they feel it is that the freedoms of the people you're recording is being also taken away without their knowledge, without their consent. The fines have been ranging up to $50,000 per person that can sue you if they're in your video. A concerned citizen feels that you did not have the right to record them, they can sue you for 50,000 pesos. And obviously, if there's hundreds of people, they could run into millions of pesos. Even a dozen people, it would be $500,000. So it's a very big concern for us vloggers. I don't wish it to happen, and I'm hoping that some of the media fights back on this, because it technically affects news media as well. So I think the more commercial, larger institutions here are going to fight back on that, because it's very broad as to who it affects and why and what the costs are. So hopefully news stations and other people will come together and fight back on this. But just to make you aware, there might be some concerns and changes in the Philippines where we're not able to just record outside the privacy of our own home or do single videos like this is just a single video with me in it alone. Like I said, I'm going to continue to do guests, and I'll have them sign a release just to cover my you-know-what. But other than that, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's a short, fairly short. I don't typically do short shorts, and my short shorts are still 15 minutes long. But I thought I'd bring it to your attention if you haven't heard from other YouTubers the concern of this. And it's very real, and we'll see what happens over the next 2 months to see if videoing and doing interviews and things like that in public places gets shut down. Obviously, it's going to affect, it's going to affect tourism quite a bit too. So they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot, because a lot of people, they don't try. Most of us who videotape do not try to mock the citizens of the Philippines, and we're just showing a different way of life, and hoping that you come over because it's a lot less expensive here, and it's the people are very nice here, the Filipinos. So most of us are not pranksters or making fun of Filipinos or things like that. We support them, and we encourage foreigners to come here and treat the citizens here fairly and nicely, because they're very nice people. But they're easily taken advantage of, and people from the big city come here and do take advantage sometimes, because they're extremely shy. Here they're quiet. They don't raise their voice. They don't shout. They don't cuss. And coming from Los Angeles, and as an American, sometimes we make jokes that they take it as being very rude. you have to be careful what you say and how you say it and how you react and how you speak to Filipinos, because you can be sued here and get in trouble if you try to verbally attack a person. Sticks and stones don't break your bones. Six stones do break your bones, but words do not have any effect. Does not work here. Words have a big effect, and if you say things here to Filipinos, you really can get quite a bit of trouble. So let's see what happens over the next couple months. Hopefully, a lot of my friends who are vloggers, Daryl, Mike, Philippines, Old Dog, Gio. Hopefully they all can continue to do what they do, because it helps people quite a bit to come over and see what the Philippines is like. And plus they see different cities and what it's like in different cities and the culture. But I'm hoping that they realize that the people that are passing these laws will affect their tourism and income. If people are not coming over because they don't know what it's like or they're afraid, that Philippines is becoming not as lenient with freedoms as they could be, then they may stay away from the Philippines, especially if they can't find out the information they need and where to go, where to stay, what does it cost, things like this. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I appreciate it. This is a short. You guys take care. Hopefully everything will work out. I have positive vibes that you all be able to come out here and still enjoy the Philippines. One bad apple does not turn the whole barrel bad. So, we just had a bad apple and maybe a second one too. There's another vlogger, I'm going to go unnamed, that caused some problems. But hopefully they get in trouble for their actions and only them, all right, rather than hurting everybody else here. You guys take care. Appreciate you watching. Love you all. Bye-bye now. Goldfinger Minute signing out.